Are you able to see my screen, ma? Respond anyone? Yes, okay, very good. Can you start the class? 120. Numbers will be done. What is a program? Generally, program is a set of statements which are normally executed sequentially. Okay. So, in the order in which they are appear. Okay. Some situations where we should have to change the order of execution. Okay. Execution of statement based on certain conditions. There are certain practical issues where we have to change the order of execution of statements based on certain conditions. So we have to repeat a group of statements, or we have to print the statements repeatedly based on some specified conditions. Okay. So for that purpose we have to use the control statements. So after this topic, the students able to learn, understand the concept of selection statements and iterative statements. They are aware of various control structures that are available in C++. Okay. They can also analyze the problem, and they can decide and evaluate the conditions, and they are able to choose appropriate control statement for a particular problem. Okay. Already I said program is nothing but it's a collection of statements that are executed normally sequentially. Sequentially is nothing but they will execute statement 1 followed by statement 2, statement 3, statement n. Like this, the statements are executed in sequentially. Okay. But in some situations we should have to change the order of execution. Means we have to jump from statement 2 to statement 4 like that based on certain conditions. Okay. So here flow control is nothing but order of execution is nothing but flow control. Okay. control statement. We can achieve uh, this sequential flow by using control statements. So we have different types of control statements in C and C++. So there are three different categories are there. Selection statements are nothing but if else and switch case. Iterative statements or loop control statements are for loop, while loop and do while loop. Jump statements are break, continue, exit and go to. Okay. These are the control statements or control structures. So now we will see the if statement, selection statement, the if selection statement. So the if selection statement is used to execute a statement or a set of instructions based on condition. So the syntax of this if statement is if keyword followed by the expression. Already I said expression is nothing but collection of operators. The operators may be a relation operators or logical operators. Okay, and followed by the statement. It is okay. Where the expression, conditional expression is nothing but it is a valid C++ expression that may have relational operators or logical operators, okay, or assignment operators. So if the condition is true, then it executes the following statement. This is the syntax of simple selection statement. Based on this condition, it will take the decision. Okay, now we will see the, suppose it may contain more than one executable statements. In the previous case, it contains only one statement, so we did not use any flower braces or compound statement here. So suppose if you want to print more than one executable statement in an if statement, then in such cases you should have to use the flower braces. This is called as a compound statement. It may contain two or more statements. If the condition is true, then the following statements, all statements will be executed. So you should have to use the compound statement or flower braces between these statements, curly braces. Okay. Now we will see the flow chart of this simple if. What is the symbol, ma? Anyone? Which symbol is used to represent the condition? Already you studied in PPS. What is the purpose of oval, rectangle, rhombus? That is a declaring, initializing. What is this test expression symbol rhombus that is used to represents the condition? Okay, initialization and declaration we will use the rectangle. Okay, so here this is a flow chart of if statement. The condition is true, then it will execute the body of the if statement, then goes to the next statement. Suppose if the condition is false, it goes to the else part. Sorry, it skip the immediate statement of if, then goes to the next statement. Then after execution of remaining statement, it will stop. This is the flow chart of if statement. Okay. Now we will see the one example for if simple if statement. Suppose I am going to compare two integers. For the purpose, I declared two integer variables and initialized with the two values 9 and 7. I am using the simple if statement. Suppose if x greater than y, then statement will be printed. So here the condition is true, 9 greater than 7. So it will print the condition is true. This is the output. This is a simple if statement. Based on condition, it will print the statements. Next, one more selection statement is the if else. It execute the statements based on condition. If the condition is true, all of you observe the syntax. If keyword followed by conditional expression, statement 1 and else part. If the condition is true, statement 1 will be printed. Condition is false, it goes to the statement 2. It will print the statement 2 if the condition is false. Okay. So any one statement will be executed, either 1 or 2. Okay, it is clear. Statement statement 1 will be executed if the condition evaluates to true. Statement 2 will be executed if the condition evaluated to false. Okay, this is the syntax. Next, here I written one simple program segment for if else statement. So here I declared one variable initialized with the 15. So I am checking I written one conditional statement. M greater than 6. If the value of M is greater than 6, then it will print hello. If the value of 6 is less than, sorry, the condition is true here, false. 15 greater than 6. Condition is true, then it will print the hello. Suppose if I give M equal to 3, 3 greater than 6. Here in this case, condition is false, then it will print y. Okay. So this is the example for if else statement. Okay, it is clear. Simple if and if else. Okay, very good. Vishnu, very good. Okay. So this is the flowchart of if else statement. So here we will declare the variables, required variables in the rectangular box. Next, this is used to represent the condition rhombus. Here I written condition, suppose A greater than B. The condition is true, it will execute the body of the loop. If the condition is false, it goes to the else part. Condition is true, it will execute the body of the if. The condition is false, it goes to the else part. Okay. This is the flowchart of if statement. So one more example. Same here also I am checking the greatest of A and B, greatest number of x comma y. So for that purpose declare two variables. I am reading x comma y values from the keyboard by using cin object. Then I am comparing x comma y using if conditional statement. Okay. So suppose here given x comma y values are 15 comma 18. So in this case 15 is greater than 8. Condition is true. So it will print condition is true. Suppose in second case the input values are 15, 22. So here condition is false. 15 greater than 22. Condition is false. Then it goes to the else part. In the else part we have written condition is false. So condition false statement will be executed. Okay. One more example I written to check whether the person is eligible for voting or not using simple if statement. So here the input is age is taken as the input. Based on age we can say the person is eligible for voting or not. Okay. So here I required only one variable, that is age of a person. So that is integer, declared int age, one variable. So I enter the age of a person using cout statement, then read from the keyboard. Next, if age greater than, what is the condition here? (18). If the age will become 18 or greater than or equal to 18, then only you are eligible for voting. So that's why condition is age greater than or equal to 18. Then he is eligible for voting. Otherwise, suppose if I give the age 5 or 10, in this case condition is false. It goes to the else part. He will not eligible for voting. So suppose here I entered age is 20. So 20 greater than or equal to 20. Sorry, 18. 20 greater than or equal to 18. So condition is true. So he can eligible for voting. So output will be he can eligible for voting. Okay. Understood? You have any doubts? Vani, Amulya. Is clear? Okay, very good. Little slow, Dinesh Kumar. Okay, ma'am. Now it is okay. Understood if and if else. So next one is the nested if else. Okay. So sometimes when a series of decisions involved, we may have to use the more than one if else statements. Based on problem, we have to use the more than one if else statements. So that is nothing but nested if else. So we may use if statement with an if, or we may also use if statement in both if part and else part. That is also called as nested if. Or we can also use the if statement within an if in the else part. These are the different forms. Based on our requirement, we can use if part in any if statement in any if, or if statement in any else part, or we may also use uh, if statement in both if part and else part. Okay, these are the various forms. Okay, our understanding, ma. Nested if nothing but using if statement, simple if statement, or if else statement in a if part or else part also. That is known as nested if else statement. This is a one form of nested if. I am using the simple if statement in a simple if. Okay. In second case, I am using the simple if statement, simple if condition in if part and as well as in the else part also. Okay, this is a one form of nested if. Or here in this case, third case, I am using simple if statement in the if part only, not in the else part. Okay. Fourth one is reverse. Here I am using if statement in the else part. Okay. These are the various forms of nested if statements. It is clear? So there can be any level of nesting. Nesting is nothing but we can use any number of if statements in the else part and if part. But the rule is whenever a condition is encountered, whenever a condition is reached, it should be checked first. If the condition is true, then we can print the immediately the following statement. Suppose if the condition is false, then we can execute the next statement. Okay. See here. You see one example. Suppose take one form of nested if. Here I use the simple if statement in the if part. This is a nested if statement. Okay. So here when will you execute the statement 1, ma? The statement 1 will be executed only if the both conditions are true. Okay. The statement 1 will be executed when the both conditions are true. Okay. I will explain one program for this one. Here I written one program code declared and initialized with three variables 13, 6 and 12. So this is a nested if statement. Suppose if x greater than y. Okay. This is the outer if. So check the condition if x greater than y means here condition is true or false. Condition is true. then this if statement can execute the immediate statement. That is also one if statement. Okay, so here check the condition again. If x greater than z, what is the x value here? 13, greater than, what is the z value, ma'am? 2. In this case, same, the inner if loop returns the true value. 13 greater than 2, 13 greater than 2, condition is true. Then it will print x is greater than y and z. Okay, here I am using nested if, printing greatest among three numbers using nested if. For that purpose I declared two if statements. This is the outer if statement. First number is compared with the second number. If the first is greater than the second, then the first number is compared with the third number. Okay, print greatest number among three numbers using nested if. Okay, clear? It is clear or not? X is greater than y using nested if. How can we know whether the loop is inner or outer of the loop? So in this case I am using only, this is the outer for loop. I am not writing any flower braces or any statements. Okay, this is the outer if, this is the inner if statement. Suppose if you write any statements after this for loop, we cannot say that is inner if or outer if. Okay, but here I did not write any statements after the first if statement. This is the outer for loop, this is the inner for loop. Okay, if you understand the simple if statement, then you will not ask this question. Why? Because, so let us assume that there is no statement, there is no if statement x greater than z. Let us assume that you have only one statement, if x greater than y. Here the condition is true. In simple if the condition is true, what will be executed, ma? The next immediate statement will be executed. Understood? The condition is true in the simple if, the next immediate statement will be executed. But here I written one more if statement instead of regular statement. Understood? Okay. You can also write, this is a second form of nested if. You can also use the if statement in the if part and also as in the else part. You can also write any if condition in the else part and any if condition in the if part. Generally we will write here if condition followed by single statement, statement 1 and statement 2. Okay, but I am replacing statement 1 by some condition. Again I am writing simple if statement. Based on our problem, we will use this type of statements. Okay. In the previous case, I used simple if statement within a if statement. I used this form for calculating largest number among three numbers. I written one more if statement in the if part. The second case, I am using the one more nested if statement form, that is I am going to write if else, but in the if part I am going to use the simple if statement again. In the else part also I am going to use the simple if statement. Based on your requirement, you can use any form of nested if else statement. Okay, clear? So for this one also I written one program. Here also I am going to print the largest number among three numbers using nested if. In the previous case, just I used the two if statements for printing greatest number. Now see here, this is the second form. Okay, so within a if I am using again simple if statement. In the else part also I am using simple if statement. Okay, see. So largest number, first compare first two integers 13 and 16. Here the condition is true or false. First if condition 13 greater than 16, condition is true or false. In this case the condition is false, y is greater. Okay, so condition is false means we will not enter into the next immediate statements. Directly we will go to the else part. Okay, understanding? Here the condition is false, so that's why I am not executing the next immediate statements of the if statement. I am directly going to the else part. So within this else, again I use the simple if for comparing the largest value, that is y, with the third integer, that is z. So y means 16 greater than 2. So condition is true, then y is greatest number. It is clear? Nested if statement. Okay. But here the number of steps are increased, number of lines code is increased. So in the first case we calculated same largest number among three numbers, that is simply 4 lines of code. But if you use if part in both the if and else part, then the length of the code will be increased. Which one is better? It is clear, ma? We don't get any output. X14, Y13. Okay, you should have to change the logic. Just in this case I used the simple if statement in the if part and else part for my input purpose. Okay, you can change the logic, or we have a different forms of nested for loops. Okay, you can use any type of these forms. The same nest by I am also here printing the largest of among three numbers using nested if statements, nested if else. See here, same program. So here declare three variables xyz, enter the three numbers, read three values xyz from the keyboard, and compare first integer with the second value, second integer. So first value will be compared with the second value, but 00 Sanjana Ravi Kumar. What is 0, ma? Shankar, you can give the xyz values for this. Apply your input to this code. Check it once. Write yourself code by using nested if else. You know the syntax now. I said different forms are there. You can use any one of the form as per your requirement. Okay. You can use simple if in the if part, in the simple if, or you can use the simple if statement in the if part and else part. That is also there. Different forms are there. You can apply anyone. Okay. Is clear? Okay. I think this will work. Shankar, it is clear. Your doubt. Yes, it is clear. Very good. The next code we will get the correct output now. In the next code. Understood all of you? Anisha, Sri Krishna. Okay, very good. Okay. There is another way to putting the if statements when you are taking when the problem contains multiple decisions are there. Okay. Then we should use the else if ladder. Else if ladder we will use when the problem contains multiple path of decision. So the syntax of this else if ladder is like this: if condition, else if condition 2, again else if. Okay, this is the syntax for else if ladder. So when in nested if else statements are there, we can map the else parts with the respect to if statement from the bottom of program. So start from the bottom of your program, then you have to match. Why? Because we may use 5 to 6 if else statements based on our problem. So at that time we may get confusion also. So at that situation you should have to map the else with the corresponding if statements. That will start from bottom of your program. Okay. Else if, then else if, this is else if, else if. Okay. In else if ladder we can match the else part with the corresponding if statement from the bottom of your program. So for this one we will see one example program. I am going to display grade according to the marks. Here input is given marks of a student. I declared one variable integer marks. Suppose here I enter the marks of a student 80. 80 percentage I entered. Then what is the grade of a student? Tell me. Suppose the marks entered marks is 80 marks. Then the grade of a student will be A or B or C. Tell me anyone. Okay. We are going to print the grade of a student. Suppose if you give the marks 80, then what will be the grade? What will be the grade of a student? Suppose here the input marks is 80. 80 greater than or equal to 90. So condition is here in this case false. Then we will not execute the immediate statement. Then we can directly go to the else part. In the else part again I written if statement. So 80 greater than or equal to 75. In this case condition is true or false? B. Very good. Surya Teja. So the grade of a student is B. So based on our requirement, my requirement, I written code for printing the grades of a student. Suppose if you give the marks of a student 30, then 30 means fail or pass. Grade F. 30 greater than last statement. So 30 greater than 40 means condition is false. Then it goes to the else part. That is grade F. So we should have to execute all the statements. Okay. Any dots? So here match the else part with the if statement from the bottom of your program. Here I use the else if statement. Else if, else if, else if, else if ladder. This is the else if ladder. Okay. Any dots? Okay, very good. Suppose see here we have seen that when one of the many alternatives are selected, we can use an if statement to control the selection. Okay, but the complexity of such a program is increases dramatically. Okay, when the number of alternatives are increases, the program becomes very difficult to read and follow, even the person who designed it. If it contains many number of options, many number of alternatives. Okay, in sometimes we may get confused also which else part is matched with if statement. Okay, so fortunately we have one more decision statement, that is a multi-way decision statement. That is, we have multi-way decision statement, that is known as switch statement. So here selection, it is a selection statement that is used to select the conditions based on some expression. Here switch of, this is a syntax of switch statement. It provides a number of labels out of which we can choose any one based on our condition. Okay, so the syntax of switch statement is switch within bracket expression. Here the expression is an only integer or character type of data. It is not an expression. It contains only integer or character variables. But in case of if statement or if else statement, we can use int type of expressions or float type of expressions. It may contain logical expressions also. Are you understanding? If statement may contain float type of conditions, character type of conditions, relational, it contain a expression with logical operators. But in case of switch statement, the expression may contain only two values, that may be integer or that may be character variable. Okay, this is the syntax of if statement. Okay, so the working of switch statement. Suppose the first switch expression is evaluated if the value match any one of the label. If the value is matching with statement 1 or case 1, then the case 1 is true, then it will execute the corresponding statements. Okay, or the expression value 2 means it goes to the case label 2, then it will execute the corresponding statement. Or if you entered the expression value may be 3, then it goes to the case 3, it executes the corresponding statements. Like this we can write any number of statements in switch case. That's why it is a multi-way decision statement. So after executing its corresponding statement, it goes to the end of the loop. So here we will write one default statement. Okay, if there is no default means the controller come out of the switch statement directly. Okay, so when the default statement will execute, when the default statement will be executed? Hello, when the default statement will be executed? When the default statement will be executed. Cases, if no case matches. Very good, Surya. Suppose, for example, see here I written one switch statement initialized with the 0 value, and here the expression may be x value will be 0. Then what is the output here? The controller directly goes to the case, no need to check all the labels. But in case of nested if, suppose I written 100 lines of code, but our required data will be available in the 99th line, but the compiler has to compile all the 99 lines of code. Okay, but here in the switch case that is will not happen, it directly goes to the required data. Here I written case 0, directly it goes to the case 0 label, it will execute the associated statements. So CO to 0. Okay, here the statements are executed based on the label x value, based on the x value. Okay, so x is 0, that's why the case 0 will be executed, then it come out of the loop. Suppose I changed the value, suppose 8. Let us assume that I given the variable value will be 8, then it will not check the case 0, directly it goes to the label 8, then it will print the cout 8. Suppose here 9, I given x value will be 9, then it goes to its corresponding label, the output will be 9. And suppose if I give 11, what is the output? 9 11. What is the output in this case? Directly it will print the default value. Your choice is wrong, your number is wrong number. Very good. So same, this is a flow chart what we have. Okay, so here comparison. So value 0 is nothing but it's comparing with case labels. x equal to 0, comparison x value with case value, true, then print the 0. Same, 8, print 8. Okay. So for each case statements, I think it is understood. Switch case, what is the difference between a switch and if statement? Can anyone tell difference between switch and switch case and nested if else? Okay, can we use the case 8? No. Okay, just wait, I will tell you. We can use both cases 8 and 9. In that cases, you should not. Here one more important thing is, here let us observe the syntax of switch statement. Wait. For each case we are writing break. Only the statement 1 will be executed, then it come out of the switch statement. It will not go to the case statement. So one of your friend asked, can I use the 8 and 9? Okay, you can use. When if you remove the break statement, then it will print a case 1 value and case 2 value. If you will not use break statement, it will print all the statement, all the case values. Okay, that is also I represented in a program. I will show you. Suppose if I remove the break, see here in this example, what is the significance of break statement? In the syntax I written break statement for each and every case label. After execution of this case 0, then it come out of this switch statement. It will not go to the next labels. Suppose if I remove the break statement in each case, then all the statements will be executed. Okay, the break is omitted, then all the statements will be executed. 0, 8, here output will be 0, 8, 9, wrong number also. All default statement will also be executed. That's why observe the syntax carefully. So here for each and every case label I written break statement. I want this statements only. I would like to execute the case label 1 statements only. That's why I kept break statement. Suppose if you want to execute case 1 and case 2 combinedly, you remove the break from the case 1 as your wish. It is clear? Shankar, can we use the case 8 and 9? Okay. Shankar, it is clear for you? No ma'am, not like that. Can I combine and write them once? Today you do one thing. In your laptop, try to execute one program using switch case. Okay. Then all your doubts will be resolved. Actually, we have a lab also C++, but not yet scheduled. Suppose if I use the break for each label, then based on your input, corresponding case value will be printed. It is clear? It is clear all of you? So one more here, invalid switch case labels. Generally the case label will be is a integer or character. Okay, the label will be integer or character. Okay, here see here case keyword followed by the label will be integer or a character. Here, integer or character constant. It should not be a symbol or it should not be an expression. Okay. These are the wrong case labels. Suppose case a minus b. What is a minus b, ma? This is an expression. So this is not a valid case label. Okay. It could not be a expression. And case Rita. It is not a, it is a string actually. The case label should not be a string. It should be a integer or it should be a character. Okay. Okay. One more thing here, each case label will be appear only once in a sequence. Suppose case 1, case 2, case 3, case 4, like that. Okay. You should not repeat the labels, same labels. Okay. Label name should be unique. Okay. This is also wrong. Here case 2, same name given for 2 cases. That is also wrong. Okay. So for single switch statement, we should have only one single default statement. We should not write more than one default statements for a single switch statement. Okay. Somebody has written like this 18.9. This is a float value. Already I said the case label should be integer or character. These are the invalid case labels. Okay. Understood? Any dots? If else, nested if else, switch statement. It is clear? Clear, ma'am. Okay. All are sleeping, no one giving replies also. Akshaya, Manisha. Try to execute all these programs in your laptops. Anyhow, we are sending PPT now. So concept wise you should execute in your laptops. Okay. Already I said, if you don't use the break statement, then all the statements will be executed like this 0, 8, 9, wrong number. Okay. The break is mandatory for each case. Okay. So here I am going to print the weekdays by using switch statement. I written one program using switch statement to print the weekdays. So already I said what is the variable here, expression, that is a integer or it may be a character. So that's why I declared one integer, int day of a week, that is an integer. Okay. Next, enter the numerical day of the week. So I'm going to read the integer value. So that is read from the keyboard. Suppose I entered 2. Here observe the input value is 2. Day of week is 2. Then the compiler directly goes to the case label 2 only. It will print the day of week is Tuesday. Then after execution of this cout statement, I written break statement. So that's why the controller come out of this statement. Otherwise, if you remove the break here, it will print Wednesday also. Okay. So here I written input value day of week is 2 value. Here day of week I am reading integer value from the keyboard, that is day of week is 2. I given 2. So day of week 2 is Tuesday. So day of week is 2. Here switch off 2. It goes to the case 2. It will print the statement. Then immediately I written break, come out of the loop. Again enter the day of the week. So now I given 6. 6 means switch off 6, it goes to the directly case 6. So in case 6 I written one statement Saturday. So Saturday will be printed. Immediately I written break. So after this execution it will come out of this statement. Again enter the numerical day of the week. Again I entered 11. 11 means switch off 11. Here I written any cases. I did not write any 11th case in my program. So it will match all the cases. Here it did not find anything, then directly it goes to the default statement. So sorry, we did not find any day of the week. The default statement will be printed in the third case. Why? Because the given label number is not there in the switch cases. Okay. Next, again I entered 5. 5 means it goes to the fifth case. So it will print the Friday. Okay, clear? Clear, ma'am. Nisha. Okay, very good. So here already I said operators in switch expression. Already I said in switch statement only exact comparison values can be done. Only equality can be implemented. Okay. If you want to use expression, the expression may be a assignment operator, but we cannot use the remaining relational operators. It may be greater or less than, greater than or equal to, less than or equal to in and switch statement. Already I said we should not use any expressions here. Expression is nothing but it should be a integer or character type of data, and we can also use any assignment means comparison operator here. So we should not use any other expressions. We should not use any relational operators or any logical operators. That one only. So here I'm going to do one more example. So here I am going to use the logical operators. So here the program will be done into by using nested if statements and switch case. Okay, both are same here. Suppose here let's see, all of you see the switch statement. Here I written one code. So here letter, suppose if I entered letter is small a, capital A, both are equal here. Here I written case labels 2, but case label A. Suppose if I entered small a, then it will also be accepted. Then case A will be executed. Some so and so statements I written here. Suppose if I give the input letter A, then it directly goes to the case A label. It will print the statement administrator. Okay. Suppose if I give the P letter input as a P, comparison operator, it may be a small p or capital P, whatever it may be, it will go to the corresponding cout statement. It will print. Here I am comparing in switch statement I am using the assignment operator or comparison operator here. It may be a small or capital letter. That's why here I did not write any break statement. Directly if you give small p, then goes to the case P. Here I did not write any break statement. So directly it will execute the next immediate statement, that will print cout purchase. Okay. Suppose the same program we will execute using necessary else also. Suppose the letter is a small a or capital A, whatever it may be, the cout statement will be executed here. Suppose if you give the small a, then it will execute cout statement, or if you give the small p or capital P, it will execute the corresponding statement. Okay. You can implement the logical or operator in switch statement like this. Okay. Actually, you try to write one program based on this switch statement. Write a program to implement, check whether the given letter is all vowel or not. Generally vowels are A, E, I, O, U. So for that purpose you should not write the 5 cases. Suppose if I give the small a capital A, both are same, both are vowels. Okay, then you can print it is an vowel. Okay. In the second case, small e capital E, you can use the logical or operator. Try to implement the program, check whether the given letter is vowel or not by using switch statement. Try to write the code for that program. Okay. Same differences. What is the difference between if statement and switch statement? Both are used for checking the multi conditions. Already I said here variable can be any type. It may be a condition, it may contain floating point of data, character type of data, integer type of data. But in switch case, it can contain only integer type of data. Most probably we will use integer type of data. Okay. Here we will execute all the statements. Okay, now that may contain a relational logical operators also, but here it's only exact match. For that purpose we will use the assignment operator. So switch variable is compared with case label values. That's why here we will use the equality operator. Equality operator. By using this operator we can go to the corresponding switch cases. It is clear? Okay. Any dots? Try to execute the programs in your laptops. Okay. So these are the selection statements. So we completed if else and switch case. Shall I start iterative control statements now? Respond anyone? 4 o'clock I will start the quiz. Okay. Shall I start the next concept? Iterative statements. I will tell one loop control statement, that is if for loop I think. And I will stop. So sometimes we need to execute a group of statements repeatedly. So for that purpose, we have to use the repetitive statements or iterative statements. So in C++ we have different three different types of loop control statements. One is for loop, while loop, and do while loop. Okay. So the for loop contains the three expressions. First one is the initialization, then test, then update. Every loop statement should contain initialization, testing, means condition, then update. These three expressions are common for loop control statements. Okay. Now we will see the for loop. So the syntax of for loop is initialization. We will use the for keyword within the parenthesis. You should not write the initialize expression, condition expression, then update expression. So these three statements separated with a comma, and after this statement you should have to write body of the for loop. This is the syntax. Okay. This is a flow chart. First we have to initialize the variable, then after that check the condition. If the condition is true, then execute the body of the loop. After execution of statement, after execution of this body of the loop, then we should have to update the value. We should have to update the value. Again check the condition, go back to the condition statement, then test the condition. If the condition is true, again execute. This loop will be executed until the condition is false. So if the condition is false, then exit from the for loop. This is the flow chart. Okay. Now we will see the one program. Here I am going to print numbers 1 to 5 using for loop. So I am going to print numbers. I am using for loop. So here I initialize the variable. Here I declared and initialize one variable int I equal 1. This is the initialization expression. And next we shall to write the condition. So I am going to print 1 to 5. What is the limit here? 5 only. Maximum value will be 5. Okay. So already initial value will be given 1. So range 1 to 5. Maximum value 5. Okay. Suppose here already first one completed. I equal to 1. Initialization completed. Next test the condition. So here what is the I value? 1. Initial value will be 1. So 1 less than or equal to 5. Condition is true. Then enter into a loop. So in the for loop, in the body of the for loop, I printed I value, cout I value. So I value will be printed 1, and the cursor will be wait in the next line. /n and end line feed operator both are used for new line. Okay. Next, after execution of this statement, then goes to the incrementation section, means update the variable value, update the expression value. So I plus plus means it is a post increment operator. So now the I value will be 2. I plus plus means this is shorthand notation for I equal to I plus 1. So I value will become 2. Again goes to the condition. Check the condition 2 less than or equal to 5. Condition is true. Then execute the I value. So I value will be 2. So like this the loop will be repeated until condition becomes false. When it will false, in the fifth iteration I equal to I plus 1. I plus 1 means 6. 6 less than or equal to 6. Condition is 6 less than or equal to 5. Condition is here false. Then it will come out of the loop. So I written step by step. You will understand very well. Wait. This is the first step. Okay, initialization is the first step. Step 1 is the we should have to initialize the variable. Okay, it is understood. First initialize the variable. In the second step, you should have to check the condition. So here condition is true. 1 less than 5. Condition is true. Then it will enter into a loop. That is the third step. Okay, initialization, condition checking and body of the for loop, third step. Then we have to move for the incrementation or decrementation, updation of a variable, that is the fourth step. So after incrementation again we have to move into the condition expression, again second step. So this is the working of for loop. Okay, step 1 initialization will be, then condition checking, then execute the body of the loop in third statement. So the three statements will be repeated, step 2, 3 and 4. Okay, the circle. Clear? It is okay? Total 4 steps are there. Jaishwal, Naveen, B Naveen. Your name, but you are not. It is clear, ma? For loop is clear. So steps 2, 3, 4 will be repeated until the condition will become false. Next we will see the working of for loop. Already I initialized. First initialize a variable, then it will be only once. Initialization will be happens only once. Is it right? Okay. Next check the condition. No need to explain this one. Okay. So two more examples I written for printing the 1 to 6 numbers in reverse order. Okay. It is clear. I written one for loop statement into k equal to 6, k greater than 0 and k minus minus. I am applying the post decrement operation here on k variable. So initially k is initialized with 6, but okay, 6 greater than 0 condition is true, then it will print the 6. Body of the loop will be executed. K value will become 6, 6 will be printed. So it goes to the again update variable. So k value become decremented by 1. So 6 minus 1, 5. 5 greater than 0. 5 greater than 0. Condition is true. Then 5 will be printed. So like this the loop will be executed 6 times. So here also same example. But here I multiplied the x with a number 5. That's why you got factors of 5. Factors of 5 I printed here. So based on our problem we can write the code, we can change the conditions here. It may contain less than or equal or greater than or equal to, it may pre-incremented or post-incremented, pre-decremented or post-decrement. That is based on our problem, our program. Okay, understood? It is clear, ma? So like this I printed a 15 table also. See here. In the first for loop, I equal to 0. Then we can print numbers 1 20 up to t. Here I conditional to I to this. So every time I am adding 2 to the integer I. So like this we can write any number of programs. So here I am printing the 15 table. So you know 15, 1 to 15, table of 15. So k is initialized with 15, k will be constant, 15 1 ja 15. So 1 means here I taken one variable initialized 1 equal to 1. So 15 into 1 15 first time, then I incremented p value, that becomes 2, 2 into 15, 3 into 15 like that. Okay. Any dots? Clear? Shall I start is now? Tomorrow we will discuss remaining loop control statements. JNTUH. Okay, I will start the quiz. I'm not understanding. Are you listening class? Are you sleeping in the class? Daily I am calling some persons. They are not responding. Whether they understood or not, I don't know. So all of you start the quiz. I will stop it by 4:10.